Would you get back to work?
Hey, what happened in here? That better not have been my best lure.
Did you get back out there and finish cutting the lawn?
That better be cleaned up by the time I get back.
Your father cares more about those fishing lures than he does about me.
Come on, Mom. Give him some slack. It's his birthday after all.
Here comes the cake.
Ooh, Jane, did you make that?
I did.
Looks great.
Wow, look at the flame.
Happy birthday to you.
How big a piece would you like?
So, Denny, did I ever tell you how Grandpa and I used to go fishing every Saturday?
Yeah, Dad. He used to tell me those stories all the time.
Well, but did we ever tell you the true story about how we lost your grandfather?
I remember that day. I told him to clean the car, and he snuck off and went fishing.
That was Dad.
Why haven't you told me about this before?
We didn't want to tell you about this earlier because we didn't want you to be afraid of the water.
Well, what do you mean? I don't really understand.
Well, today's your father's 40th birthday, and your grandfather and your great-grandfather, they both disappeared on their 40th birthdays.
That's why they call it Widow's Lake.
Well, how do they disappear? Like, what happened to them?
I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. You know, some nights I sit outside and I watch that radio tower, and it goes flash, 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 but every once in a while it goes flash, flash, flash. I know what that is. That's a code from those aliens, and that's when they abduct people. That's what happened to your grandfather and your great-grandfather. Those aliens took them. There's no other explanation.
Well, you know Irma who lives down the road? She told me there's a giant fish that lives in the bottom of the lake. I didn't believe her, but she has proof.
Well, what kind of proof?
The same day that your grandfather went missing, she has a photograph. There's an empty canoe, and right next to it, there's a giant fish fin, this big. What else could it be?
When both your great-grandfather and your grandfather disappeared, the only thing that was found was an empty canoe. There's a lot of stories out there. I just do not know what to believe.
Well, Dad, what do you believe really happened?
Well, I don't believe any of it. I think it's just a bunch of baloney. I've talked to the sheriff, and I was reading up in some of the old articles about all these crazy stories, but for me, I think they just fell out of the boat and drowned. You guys aren't going to scare me about going out fishing on my birthday for fear of aliens or giant sea creatures, so I'm going fishing today.
You are not.
Well, I'm going fishing.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin. Another strange disappearance has been reported at the shores of Widow's Lake. Freddie McFarland was out walking his dog this morning when his dog mysteriously disappeared. Freddie is blaming Widow's Lake for the disappearance. Now, back to your daily music program.
Grandpa, is that you?
Yeah, what took you so long?
Grandpa, what are you doing here?
I haven't done a chore in 25 years. I've been fishing every day. Okay, come on in. Dad's waiting for you.